Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we're in the teleporter heading down to the cows and calves. We're going to be pulling some bales with them. We're actually going to be using the bales that we baled back in February. We're going to pop a couple of them out with them, see how they like them, see what they're like, and we are going to try and hold them where they are for a few days because grass isn't that plentiful, and if we can hold them for 3 or 4 days or a week, depending on how much they like these bales, that'll be great. So we'll see how it works out. So we're just heading down here now. We're going to go over, grab a couple of the bales, and we'll get them loaded and get them back to the field where the cows and calves is, and yeah, see how we get on. So we have 2 bales picked up. 1 round feeder is on the trailer, as you just might have seen there, and yeah, put down to the field. The other round feeder is actually in the field from last year. We'd been giving the cows a little bit of hay towards the end of last year just to help with grass tetany, but yeah, we just have to grab it and put it in place. Dad seems to like the look of the bales so far, but we know better when we open them up. He just pulled a wee bit out and it seemed to smell quite nice, so let's see. Anyway, we're nearly here. We'll get down and we'll start to get some of the stuff into position. Alright, so bales are in. These are the bales that we baled up last February. Now the grass, it's lovely, lovely stuff, believe it or not. It's actually, to squeeze it, it's actually sticky, so it is. Back in February we had about a month of dry weather, if you remember back to it. It was a lovely day, it was about 20 degrees when I cut this here, about 18 or 20 degrees. And it was left in for a day or two on the ground to dry out a bit, and they're going absolutely mad for it. They love it. So feed quality, I know it's not going to be fantastic on it, but it's going to do exactly what we want here, which is to hold the cows for about a week. We're not out of grass. The field that they're in isn't 100% out yet, and we have another field with about 3.5 acres in it that they can go to, but we're trying to hold them back from that for a week. If we do that, we can then put them to that 3-acre field, and then by the time that the 3-acre field is, there's 6 acres across the road which we took hay of, that there is a lovely cover of grass on at the minute, but we want to get on a wee bit further. There's another field down here with 3.5 acres and we took the hay of it. It's also flying and greened up very nicely. There's a nice cover of grass on it. And then we also have the field here that they've just come off, which is slurried, and it's just starting to green out behind us. So we will have plenty of grass, but if we can just stall them for a week, we're covered. You know, it'll make a huge difference. The problem is if you put them to any of those fields that the hay was taken off back about 2.5-3 weeks ago, they'll hoover it up in a week, you know, because it hasn't got the soil of grass in it. It's greened up. The grass is probably, what, about 4 inches maybe, and it just needs that extra week or so just to bulk up, especially the way the weather is now. It's very warm, we're getting a bit of rain, and that's making all the difference to it. But yeah, cows are in fantastic order. See, Mr. Bull is here beside us eating it. They're absolutely wolfing in this. The problem we're going to have here is keeping these bales with them. They're just going to go through them like wildfire, but we don't mind. That's what they're for, and we'll keep them through them. Even if we have to give them 2 bales every day, that'll be fine. This is the batch of cows that is away from the yard, or away from the house if you like, and remember back about 2 months ago we purchased 6 cows, 5 calves from the Suckler sale. There's 5 of the cows and calves are here. Here's one of them here, and that is one of the calves there behind her. I'd say that is her calf. Let's go see if we can find some of the others. That's another one there, and that's her calf there behind her as well, so that's 569. This 205 is another one, and I'd say her calf is the one there the other side of her as well. Let's go and see. That's 3 of them, so there's 2 more of them here somehow. Where are they? Let's see if we can just spot them without causing too much of a mess or annoyance to them. They're there. There they are. Down there, number 12 is one of them. Let's see if we can sneak around and see her. So she's another one there, number 12, and then that's the other one there. That's the 5th one as well. So yeah, lovely cows, doing very well. Calves are doing very well too, and they've settled in right at home. So, and we're really happy with that. They just match in perfectly with our Suckler hired. The only thing is that if we could do it again, we'd have bought same again. We'd have bought 10 or 12 of them, because they're just ideal, you know, for breeding and then for offspring and everything else. It's just exactly for replacements. It's exactly what we would have wanted, but we didn't, and that's the way it is. A lot of our herd is getting a bit aged, so we are thinking long term on what to do with it. Probably if you'd asked us 18 months ago, not even 18 months ago, 12 months ago, we probably would have said we were going to cut the numbers back a lot, because we were tortured with crypto and it was just a nightmare, just an absolute nightmare. But we seem to have it under control with no crypto issues this year at all with the new regime that we have, and it's given us a new lease of life with it. We're looking at it a wee bit differently. 12 months ago, we would have said that if there was a Suckler reduction scheme coming in, or a cull scheme, we would have took it, or took the most of it and reduced our numbers way down. But now we're quite happy to be still in the Suckler business. But yeah, we're going to be working harder on the on the herd over the next couple of years, and we're going to be culling out some of the older cows or problem cows a lot faster and trying to get a younger herd. That's going to be the aim of it all. But yeah, that's kind of where we are with them. Yeah, they're in fantastic order considering the year that there is, and that grass hasn't been brilliant. You know, grass has been hard to manage. You know, it is shooting out faster than usual. Lack of rain over the last 6 weeks has meant that we haven't been getting the same grass growth as usual. It's not a lush grass, it's not what the cows and calves would like, but considering that, they've done very well and they're in great order, you know, so that's something, and it's great to see. Calves also doing very well, lovely growthy calves this here. Our Charlie bulls, this one here is he's a younger bull, and he is certainly producing a slightly bigger calf, a slightly taller calf we're seeing out of him, which is a good thing. Now, he's not as nice a looking bull as our last Charlie bull, but he's still a nice bull. Our limousine bull, we had to cull him off because he had a couple of foot issues over the last couple of years. He walked last year, but we had to get rid of him. That was his last year, and so we were sad to see him going. But we have another Charlie bull, which I'm going to see if I can get a wee bit of footage of him. He's with the other cows, and I'm going to put the drone up and I'll fly it down and get a wee bit of footage of that, and I'll voice over that later in the video. So yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, that's kind of the cows and calves. So I think we're going to be busy drawing these bales to them, which is not going to be a bad thing. We also we're going to on Monday resheet. Galvanise is kind of effect on this, so we're going to resheet this feeder, because apart from the sheeting, it's still a good feeder, and it'll do the job. It does this kind of job here, and later in the year they come in very handy, because when the weather starts getting colder, we give the cows hay, and yeah, they're great for that. So that is this part of the video. Okay, let's go and we will have a look at the other cows and calves. Oh, just before I pull off, never mentioned these here, that we have 4 reared calves from 2 years ago that we have kept on as replacements. That's one of them. Let's see, where is the other ones? There's 2 more. That's 2 more of them here, and we have, where is the 4th one hiding out? There's another one there somewhere. There she is here. They all look the same. There she is there. But yeah, lovely heifers, and they're now running with the bull as well. Very quiet, seeing as they were bucket reared here on the farm. We had time to beef them, but the older they got, the nicer looking stock they got, and there was a change in heart with them then. We said, okay, especially when we seen that the crypto issue was gone and that we were going to start to work a bit harder on the Suckler herd, yeah, we decided to keep them. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they do. They should be nice replacement stock, seeing as they're out of dairy herd, but we'll see. Alright, so just before we go at the gate, we'll have a quick look at the grass situation. Now, looking across the grass there, it's greening up nicely. This was slurried about a week ago. Hay was cut on it about 3 weeks ago, or a little over 3 weeks ago, and yeah, it's doing nicely. But the problem is, even though some of the grass there is 4 inches tall, some of it maybe 5 inches tall, when you look down into it from above, there's places of it that's quite open in the bottom, and you can see in those open areas now there is a lot of small shoots of grass all starting to come up, and they will all close that in, but it's going to take a time. So probably depending on what grass varieties is mixed together here, some of them's recovering better than others, which is normal enough. It always happens like that, but it's going to take another week for this to really start to tick it up. So more rain and some more, I suppose, warmish weather, and this'll jump out of the ground the next week. So yeah, that's why we need to stall it out. We haven't actually had that much rain here. We've had Tuesday evening, we had some heavy thunder showers. It lasted about an hour. Thunder, lightning and heavy rain lasted about an hour. An hour after that, it had all washed away to the sides and it was drying up again. So that's not what you want. You want some prolonged lighter rain for the likes of this here, and it'd make a huge difference to it. And I think we're going to get that. We're getting more rain this week. So yeah, that's really it. We had some rain on, I think it was a bit of rain last night, Friday night, and some this morning, but not big amounts. So yeah, we still need more rain. We need more rain. We also need some dry weather to make some more hay. So if we could preferably have it dry in some fields and wet in the others, that would be ideal, but it's not going to work like that. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the other cows and calves. I'm going to put the drone up and have a little look at them, and yeah, see how they're going on. Alright, so this is the second batch of cows. So the other half of the Suckler herd, you might as well say, they're not really hand-picked. It's just how they fall, basically. So the first batch of cows that calve end up going to that out farm that we've just been on and put the bales with the cows. So that's where the first batch of cows go to, and the second batch then stay at home and are grazed between our own land and this piece of rented land here that we have as well. So yeah, so they're grazing around home, and you can move them wherever, basically wherever it suits. We graze a batch of bulls at home as well as these suckler cows, so we can kind of move them around, and it works well enough. So they're in this piece of rented land at the minute. There is access down to a river here where they can go in and out, and it's great in the warm weather. They can drink from it, and they've an abundant supply of water. The other thing about it is too, there's a lot of shelter in it. So you can see the hedges, there's trees right around this whole plot of land. There's about 20 acres in it, and this can spend a lot of time then sheltered from the sun or the rain or the wind or whatever's going on, and it works well. It's organic. We haven't spread slurry in it in a few years. We haven't put any fertilizers on it, or it hasn't been sprayed. So what you find is now there's a lot of buttercups and daisies and different kind of flowers and stuff like that growing up through it, and the cows seem to like it, so it works well enough. This is some of the other land here that they do graze as well, either them or some of the bulls, and it's been slurried and fertilized, and it's coming back. So it's just the other side of the ditch. It's grown back quite nicely. But yeah, you can see this bull, our second Charlie bull, which is only new enough Charlie bull. He's quite young. He was one that was bought in for fattening. Turned out when we got the cards of him, he had full papers, and he was a 4 or 5-star bull, which was quite surprising, and quite young. He was only just over 12 months old when we got him. So he had a bit of a foot issue over the winter. That has healed up, and he's doing pretty well okay. And we're giving him a go with the cows. Going to run with the cows this year, see how he works out, and if all goes well with him, we might hold on to him. If not, or the foot issue returns, we will put him in for fattening, and we'll get rid of him and replace him then for next year. But he was well bred. He's quite easy calving for Charlie, and yeah, he was just a good option. He's very well bred. He's just a good option for us to run with our cows. This here is our silage field. I was flying past it, and I just said I'd have a quick look over at it. It's coming quite nicely as well. There's a good coating of grass coming on it. It was fertilised about a week and a half ago, and it was slurried back then as well, just before it was fertilised. So yeah, it's doing well enough. This field here that we're just flying over, that's a little bit on the yellow side, that is hay, which we do intend to cut on the next dry spell. There's 11 acres in that field, all told, and we intend to cut it. I'm just going up here now to just have a quick look. There's some of the bulls that's grazing outside are here. So I just said I'd fly up and just have a quick look at them. Now, managing the grass is a bit of an issue this year. If the grass growth had to be right, this field that they're in, we would have took a cut of hay of it. But the way everything dried up, the way the grass growth has slowed, we've had to put the cattle into it to eat it. Now it's quite strong in places. It wasn't fertilised for to be hay. It would have got some slurry all right, and it just, with the way the sun, there was a lot of sunshine, a lot of heat, the grass shot out. It was initially would have been for grazing. It shot out. We thought then maybe we'll take a cut of hay, but that didn't happen because the cattle were going to run out of grass in other places. So we had let them into it, and they are eating it down at the minute. So yeah, I think I just, when I'm up here now with the drone, I might do a little bit of a 360 right the whole way around. It was a nice enough afternoon, even though the sun's kind of gone in a little bit. But yeah, just kind of you see the landscape right around. And when you come around here, then you can see the mountains down in the background. These are the Mourne Mountains. Steve Gullion there is over to the left, and yeah, just some nice views then. And then as the mountains ends, you can sometimes see Dundalk Bay there if the sun is hitting it right. So it's nice to have a bit of a catch up on the cows and calves. Hasn't really been much about the cows and calves over the last probably about 2 months, really, since we got the purchase in those cows from the sale that time. So there's been nothing on them since that. So it's nice to have a bit of an update on just what's happening with them. Because yeah, the last videos has been nearly all hay, silage, slurry, all that kind of stuff. It's all machinery videos. So yeah, nice to have a livestock video up now as well for everyone who likes to see those. The last cow also calved a couple of days ago, which is great. She's not with the rest of the herd yet. We had kept her in here so we could keep an eye on the camera, and it's just easier to mind them when they're inside. So she calved, and she's out now she actually got out this morning. She's in the field here behind the yard. And we leave her there till early next week just to make sure everything's okay, and if everything's alright, then she'll get with the rest of the herd and get her to the bull to get her in calf as well. So yeah, but great, yeah, great that that's finished now. All the calving's finished for another year. There's always one or two stragglers for one reason or another, and it seems to always go into June, so there are one or two that goes into June, but yeah, it's just the way it is. The other thing I want to do before I finish up the video is I want to wish David Martin in Brimfield in County Monaghan a happy birthday. David was 15 on, I think it was the 19th of June, just trying to remember this off the top of my head. So yeah, happy birthday David, hope you had a good day. More importantly, your mother Patricia said that you had just finished your junior cert in the last week or so. So congratulations on that, hope that went well for you as well. Great that it's done and dusted now the way, and you're ready for a load of work now over the summer. So yeah, and if you're on out of work, come on up. I have some sheds here need power washed out. You can give me a shout and I'll sort you out with some work as well. But yeah, happy birthday David, and thanks very much for watching the channel. So that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, hit the sub button, leave a like in the video, comment down below if you have any questions or anything that you want to mention, or comments or anything you want to say, and yeah, we will see you in the next one during the week. So have a good weekend, take care, see you then.